your personal style consists of three things, really. It's your lifestyle, your goals, and you. And I think a lot of people miss the you part of personal style. Like, what makes you you? What do you naturally gravitate towards? What do you love? What do you like putting on? What makes you feel confident? So what I typically find when I'm going through closets is the missing the you part. Like, okay, this is very boring, like very, very dry, very outdated. Yes. Like, you know, where's the little bit of risk?
I'm not afraid to write a brand new story. And what changes find a way to me, I can keep it moving. I'm not afraid to celebrate my glory. And when challenges grace my path, I know I can face another day. Inside, I rise, daring to learn. With Fox After 40.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Fox After 40. We focus on all things women's wellness. And today we're talking about style after 40 and how to overhaul that closet and really feel good in what you have to wear, okay? We brought in Jasmene Bowdry, who's an expert in stylist. She's been doing this for, I don't know, over 15 years now, right? Yes. All right. So, but before we get to Jasmine, I want to go over her bio. Jasmene Bowdry is a multifaceted retail expert, fashion stylist, and entrepreneur with over 15 years of experience in the fashion industry. She has held positions as a corporate retail buyer from prominent brands such as Tiffany Co, Saks Fifth Avenue, and Office Depot, managing over $500 million in revenue. Wow. Simultaneously, she's built a reputable career as a fashion stylist, working with high-profile clients and on notable projects. Jasmine, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So please walk me through your career and your background in styling. I know you for other things. Yeah. And so I didn't even realize how deep your career in style went. So please enlighten me.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, I mean, it started back in the day with paper dolls. Dating myself in terms of age, but that's like where my love.
I remember paper dolls.
Do you remember paper dolls? Like, you get the paper doll book and then you put the little outfit.
Oh, man.
That's where it all started. It was like dressing the paper dolls, right? And I think it was really my mom that cultivated that gift early, which is why I went into like fashion buying and retail. So that's what I studied as my major at Michigan State, was how to be a retail buyer and really studying the business of fashion and the business of retail. So after graduating, I wanted to be in the scene of where that was. So I moved to New York, and then that's where I started as an assistant buyer at Saks Fifth Avenue. But being in New York, like, everybody has multiple hustles. You can't just do one thing, because you can't afford to do just one thing. So it was like, how else can we make some money? And at this time, like, MySpace was the pop-in social media platform, and that's where everybody would kind of like post gig type jobs. And so I had saw in there, like, we need a assistant stylist. It wasn't much information. I was just like, I've never really heard about styling. Like, you know, what is that? And so I went to this very sketchy location in New York City. And I was like, what? It looks like a studio, kind of. But I didn't know what it was. So the main stylist was there, and she was just talking about, you know, that she styles for celebrities, and she's looking for an assistant that is able to be a go-getter and all of these things, right? And in walks 50 Cent. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, but you can't be like that, right? Like, you can't be all hype. And I'm just like, oh wow. So long story short, I ended up getting the job as the assistant. So I would leave my job at Saks and then walk to the G Unit office and pack tour bags, organize the closet. Like, it wasn't any of like the fun, cute stuff. It was really like the labor, and we're getting coffee and for no pay. Like, the kids now are different. They're not working for free. But back then it was like you really had to kind of prove yourself. So that was my in. I started in through like celebrity type styling. And so did that for a while. Eventually, obviously, started to get paid and actually go on tour and, you know, movies and red carpets and all of that stuff. But after that, I then transitioned to like fashion shows. So I did some dressing for New York Fashion Week for Donna Karan, Michael Kors, Lacoste, Jenny Packham, several other brands. And ended up going back into corporate like after that, because it's very like a fickle kind of industry. It's up and down. It has, you know, cyclical times of when it's key moments. You're always kind of grinding, and I needed a little bit of stability, so went back into corporate, but still kind of missed, you know, connecting and really putting looks together, being creative. So then I went the more professional route, which is kind of what I do now, which is a strategic wardrobe stylist for high achieving women, really helping them command stages, own the room, and get opportunities through their style.
What are some pitfalls you find in people's wardrobes? Like when you go and, you know, executive women, you go and look in their closet and you're like, like, what do you see when you, and I'm saying this because I hired a stylist before, and I remember her going through my closet and
She was just disgusting.
Oh my gosh, she changed my life. I was like, she's like, we gotta get rid of these collared shirts. Stop buying these. I was like, dang, you know.
Well, honestly, because I think it, like, your personal style consists of three things, really. It's your lifestyle, your goals, and you. And I think a lot of people miss the you part of personal style. Like, what makes you you? What do you naturally gravitate towards? What do you love? What do you like putting on? What makes you feel confident? So what I typically find when I'm going through closets is the missing the you part. Like, okay, this is very boring, like very, very dry, very outdated. Yes. Like, you know, where's the little bit of risk? Where's the little bit of fun?
When you say things that make you give me an example of something that you might find in someone's closet that makes them them.
Yeah, so if I am working with, let's say I'm working with a creative entrepreneur, right? Somebody that's not necessarily like a corporate professional, but they're more like creative. Maybe they do branding or, you know, advertising or marketing or something like that. So they'll probably have more bold color pieces, fun things that pop. They'll probably have more statement items because that aligns with their actual personality. That's how they draw in inspiration for whatever they're doing in terms of their career. So it's like different lifestyles that align with your actual wardrobe is what I find.
No, you're absolutely right. I think one of the things I do in my wardrobe, for me, it's like I have the same gold jewelry that I use often, but I got it from when I traveled. Like I got it when I went to Kenya. So it's like brass jewelry I bought in the market. I freaking love it. And so like it tells a story, so I always wear it. But it is,
like
you,
ears are cute.
And thank you. And I have a little choker necklace and a little African brass bracelet, and it lasts. But most people are probably like, "Girl, pick some different jewelry." And I'm like, "Oh, but I like."
But you love it.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah. So you know, I love that. So are there any other mistakes that you see people making in their closets? They don't have things that make them them. What are some, do you feel like people use colors enough?
Not really, because a lot of people are scared of color. And color is really tricky. Obviously, there's color psychology. So there are things that happen with color that actually make your skin tone. It can wash you out if it doesn't necessarily go with your skin tone. But then there are also colors that can vibrate your skin tone and make it glow. So I think a lot of people are like, that color wouldn't look right on me. You would actually need to do probably like a color analysis where different colors are paired on your skin so you can see if it washes you out or actually helps to radiate the skin. But essentially, you know, jewel tones really kind of are vibrant and elevate. Red is empowering. Subtle tones, so like calm and refreshing, is like lavenders, soft blues. So I like to have a mix because I honestly kind of dress based on like my mood and like how I'm feeling. So what do I want to exude today? How do I want to feel? How do I want to show up? So what I find is that people are missing color just because they don't know what color actually works for them. So they stick to more of the classics like blacks, whites, navies, tans.
Are there colors you don't do?
Yes, there are colors. So I don't really do, what colors don't I do? There are some. What doesn't look, there are some colors that don't look good on me. Which main ones? Let me think about that.
No problem. I know I don't have very much purple in my wardrobe.
Like what color? Like in the spectrum.
Because there are a lot of purples. I have some pastel purples. I don't really do like a lot of deep purples in my wardrobe. They do look good on some people. I have one purple dress. But like I do a lot of reds. I do a lot of I have some cream stuff. I do a lot of like greens, like all kind of greens, lime green, bright green, dark green. And that's probably more for CurlMix, but
I don't do a lot of yellow. So I could, but like mustard yellow, but like pastel yellow, that will wash me out.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, like that, because I'm lighter, so it wouldn't look good on you either. Like it will wash you out. It would make you kind of look faded a little bit, but like a mustard. Like a mustard yellow, like a sunset type.
Are there some statement pieces that you think everyone needs to have in their closet?
Statement pieces. So statements
or
depend.
staple pieces.
Staples, yes.
Okay.
So
what are some
in
staples?
terms of staples, a statement is something that you should have
Okay.
in your closet. And a statement can be like your earrings, something that stands out. Perhaps you love different eyeglasses, right? So that's your statement piece. Or you have a fun, trendy shoe that you like to wear, or a handbag. So you do need at least one statement piece.
Okay.
Also, a classic structured blazer. Structured meaning like tailored. Like, don't just buy the blazer and not have it fit to your actual body type, but a structured blazer. High quality tees also. So some of my favorite brands are Vince, Theory. They're made with really good cotton, so they last, for years. So not just like the regular tees that are going to stretch and lose their elasticity over time. You want some high quality tees. A good pair of denim. You always need a good pair of denim
Just one?
in your wardrobe, or 2
Okay.
to 5.
Yeah.
I have a lot of denim, but definitely want some good denim. Also a good dress, like a nice power dress. So again, depending on your body type, that may be a shift dress, it may be a midi dress, it may be an A-line dress, but really a good dress that makes you feel powerful.
And speaking of silhouettes, how do you know what silhouette looks good on your body?
Great question. So I would say body type is the biggest miss that most women make with their style, is not understanding, especially as you're getting older, because it's gonna fluctuate, right? You need to either work with a professional to identify your body type, or if you're good at like taking measurements and understanding how to take your measurements, then you can identify your body type. But it's all about proportion. So it's like how your shoulders, waist, hip, how they all align. And it's not that, something that I want to point out is not that you have a bad body, right?
Of
Like
course.
structurally, that's just how you are built, but it's dressing for the body that you have. Like outfits don't look good on certain people simply because it's not made for their particular body type.
If you've gotten any value from listening to Fox After 40, you learned a beauty tip, you've gotten advice, you shared the episode with a friend, please do us a favor and leave us a review on Spotify and Apple. It goes a very long way in helping us continue to build the podcast. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. I love that you mentioned that. When I had someone look at my closet, besides the fact that I had a bunch of black and gray, I didn't have, I have a really curvy body, and all my pants were like the skinny jeans.
Yeah, and you're not a skinny jean. You need wide leg.
Yes, I needed wide. Exactly. I got the hips. I got hips for days. Okay, and so then she had me go and buy a few different colors of wide leg pants. I had some white ones. I had some other colors. I think blue, and they looked so good on me. And then I had a lot of like peplum jackets. Yep. Because before I didn't have any blazers, and they were all like, so I had to go get some peplum jackets with the wide leg, and now it lengthened me out. Yep. You know what I mean? And I was probably like, I don't know, like 30, 40 pounds heavier too. So it was like, it looked good. Yeah.
It's like those little tricks that you don't even realize. Like proportion is really key when it comes to understanding your body type and silhouette. So you doing peplum and then a longer wide denim, like you mentioned, made you look more elongated. Mm-hmm.
What are some other common mistakes you see people making outside of like considering silhouette, but it could be any other thing that you're like, these are rules of fashion that we typically don't break?
I don't necessarily know if I play by the rules of fashion. Like I will still wear white after Labor Day. Like that rule has been debunked. But I think it's the biggest mistake is people not trying. Like that's really what kind of just grinds my gears as a stylist is try something different, try something new, like you said, you were wearing blacks and grays. Like, why is that the only color palette?
Girl, I wasn't even going to nobody's office
like, why
either.
is that the only color palette, we're wearing? Because it was you were comfortable in it, right? So it's, stepping outside of your comfort zone, trying something different and having fun. Like fashion is fun.
So one of the pitfalls I have is shoes, right? For this podcast recording, I wore the same shoes for every episode because for simplicity's sake. Well, and comfortable, and black. I mean, they can just kind of work with everything, but because I would like switch shoes and so much to carry and things like that. But I realized I don't do a good job of like picking out shoes. Yeah, and it's like you want to go in store, you want to touch. Are there do you have some favorite brands? You don't have to recommend things, but you can. What do you recommend about like staple shoes to have in your closet? So
definitely have a good shoe rotation. So first is having a good like classic sneaker in a quality sneaker. So my favorite like kind of fun sneaker, and the reason, let me back up. The reason being is because if I want to have like a casual outfit, let's say I want to do blazers and like jeans, but I don't want to put heels on, then a nice sneaker will really kind of elevate and still put the look together. So my favorite brand for that is Golden Goose.
Okay.
They make like really just fun kind of like chic sneakers. You can always go with like classics like the Adidas shell kind of classic stance.
But we're not doing Nike, right? Like those are not classic. That's not what you mean.
No, they still are, because I still wear like I have what they call it, I think they're called mid blazers or something like that.
Okay.
Like I still have fun sneakers, you know, also, but it depends on how I want, like, where am I going and how do I want to show up? Am I trying to be like sporty chic? And that's where I might, wear something like that.
Are they a certain color?
Mine are black and white.
Black and white sneakers. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of stick to like classic colors. But I have like a couple pair of like colorful Air Maxes and things like that. So I mix it up. But also you want to have, like, if you can't do stilettos, which typically like after 40, I'm just like, I can't do.
Sorry.
I know. In the club. I can't really do. And if I can, it's only for a short amount of time. And I have to know that I'm going to sit down. Like, are there seats?
Yes. Okay.
Is there seating available? And so a good chunky heel or like block heel really works because you can typically wear that for a longer period of time. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I would say, especially for my over 40 girls, having a block heel, a nice ankle booty. That's also a staple. And then a good pair of like flats or loafers.
What's an ankle booty?
Where it just stops at the...
Oh, like a boot.
At the ankle, yep.
Oh, ankle boot. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
But it's not a full boot, so it's a booty.
Gotcha. Okay.
Short. So yeah.
So we got ankle booty. We got
ankle booties. Good sleek sneaker. Black heels. Loafer. Like a loafer or a flat. Mm-hmm. And then neutral, like some neutral pumps. So
gotcha.
Black or nude.
I end up getting a lot of shoes from Sam Edelman. They have like comfortable heels. Yeah, they're comfortable. I don't know. Like they're cute, but I have some ones I've like never put on. I'm like, why'd you buy that? You was never gonna wear that.
Impulse shopping.
So I want to address like overhauling your wardrobe, right? Like every decade. So in my 20s, my closet looked different. In my 30s, my closet is completely different. Yep. You know, how do you see people's wardrobes evolve over time?
So I think what people need to understand with style is that style is an evolution. So it should evolve. It should evolve with the different stages of your life. Remember, one of those 3 key components is your lifestyle. So I don't think the same as I did when I was 20, right? At that point, I'm like, okay, we're going to the club. We leaving the house at midnight to go. We're coming back at 3. At this stage of my life, I'm like, what? In the bed, right? So you're just different lifestyle. And so, hold on, let me pause because I forgot the question.
Just how your closet changes.
Yes, how it changes
every decade.
Over time. Mm-hmm. Yep, over decade. So it's about the evolution, right? And it's about where you see yourself, where you want to go, who you see yourself becoming, this new version. You know, typically as we enter 40, it's like when I entered 40, from being in 30s, it was like, I'm grown now. Like I'm a
yes.
I'm a grown ass woman. Like so I wanted to feel more elevated. I didn't want like fast fashion pieces. You know, I wanted more things that were gonna last that I didn't have to necessarily keep buying over and over. So like I'm not the Shein girly because I don't want to spend, you spend $50, you get 100 pieces, so you have a lot of quantity, but it's not quality. It's not things that's gonna last in your wardrobe. So it's like I wanted to be more elevated when I stepped into my 40s. Like grown woman, I drink champagne during lunch.
How do you know what's quality?
Definitely you can feel the difference in materials. The fabrics are different, the types of materials. So, kind of going back to those quality tees that I mentioned, like a good Pima cotton is going to feel different than polyester.
Okay.
Like you can feel the difference in quality materials. Also, where you actually shop. So Forever 21 is not going to have the same quality as Nordstrom.
Okay.
everything may be, I think a misconception is since things are made overseas, more so in China, that everything is just cheap. Like, no, they have quality manufacturers, you know, there. So you can just really feel the difference in a lot of the fabrics and materials that are used.
I love your recommendations. I do see some of our customers probably listening and saying, okay, well, this sounds expensive. Like, how am I doing this affordably? You know what I mean? How am I giving myself, I do remember having to redo my whole closet. And I was like, oh, this is not, even the shoes, I probably spent like, I think I bought 10 pair of shoes. It was like $1,000, you know, at least. And it could be a lot more than that if you were getting certain kinds of shoes. What are your recommendations around budget for a closet overhaul and how you would approach it?
So I think the thing is you don't have to overhaul.
Okay.
It's refinement, right?
Okay.
Like you don't have to necessarily go and throw, because I'm sure that there are things in your wardrobe that can still work, that will still work, that you don't necessarily have to overhaul everything that you have in your closet. But it's more about refining, identifying where are there some gaps. So what am I missing? Do I have a good quality pair of denim, or is this something, you know, that I bought for $20? Maybe now I'm going to save to spend $150 on not your daughter's jeans, because those are made more for comfort styles, for curvier bodies. So maybe I'll save to be able to get that, and do it in time. Like you don't have to overhaul everything at one, you know, in one moment. You can do it over time. Also, like shopping sales at those more expensive retailers. So Nordstrom has an anniversary sale twice like every year, right? So getting some of those things when they're on sale is also how you can build up your wardrobe. But I think the key is identifying what's missing first.
Do you have any other places you recommend? I mean, I have a Nordstrom.
Absolutely. So in terms of like elevated blazers, grown woman type blazers, really quality, classic Veronica Beard. Syncocept, these can be found in Nordstrom. Theory has really good just kind of tailoring fit for trousers and tops. Reese, Koss, J. Crew, Banana Republic, those are also good quality brands. Madewell actually makes really good denim. Also, they have really good denim. Like I mentioned, Not Your Daughter's jeans. Tory Burch, always good for a classic flat.
Okay, I love it. If you've enjoyed this episode of Fox After 40 and want to get notified about the next episode when it drops, make sure to go to CurlMix.com and sign up for our mailing list. We'll notify you whenever a new episode comes out. I have one last question. Well, not one last question. I have one more question. Do you have rules around? And so I've learned that like if you haven't worn it in the last year, throw it out.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. okay.
If you haven't worn in a year, get rid of it. That's actually my rule. And the reason it is because it's like, is it serving us? Like, think about how your wardrobe is serving you now, like in this season. Is this serving me? Like, why are we holding on to it? And I find that sometimes it's like emotional connections that we're holding on to pieces. It may be something someone, you know, purchased for us that we want to just hang on to. But I am a firm believer, like, if I haven't worn this in a year, why? Why haven't I worn it? Like, have you asked yourself, why haven't I worn this yet? Like, what am I waiting for? What special occasion? And I don't believe in that. Like, put it on. I will wear a fur coat in Target.
Okay, this is great. I have two more questions. Okay, so you know how like you find something you like.
Yep.
Should you buy every color?
I don't think you need to buy every color. Maybe buy two.
Okay.
Maybe buy two. Like, but it's funny because one of my most recent clients, like it was a specific type of blazer that she loved. And I mean, it was like 10 of them. And I was like, girl, I mean, do we really? Do we need all 10? We don't. Ready. Like, we don't need all 10. We can keep 3. But you don't need, like, let's try some different cuts and silhouettes. Okay. But the cool thing I'll say about that is if you love like the color of that, then you know that you can get that color in other items. So I would say do that versus buying the same pieces over and over.
Okay, what about, how do I make a decision around something that I'm like, it's cute, I would wear it, I'm not crazy about it, but you know, it works. Don't buy it. Because
again, like The question is, how does this align with my lifestyle?
Mm-hmm.
How does this align with my goals? And then something also that you can do and your audience is start to style yourself in your head. Like, and my rule of thumb is I create outfit formulas. So I am thinking about 3 to 5 ways that I can wear this one piece before I buy something. I am a repeat outfit wearer. If you see me in this again, don't say nothing. But it's like, how many different ways can I wear this?
Yeah.
So if I want to buy this new shirt, okay, I'm already thinking about, I have these jeans that can go with that. I have these trousers. I have this skirt. So that's already 3 ways that I'm able to wear it. So if you can't think of multiple ways that you're going to be able to wear a piece versatilely, then don't buy it.
That's such good advice. That's so funny you mentioned this. I'm thinking about how when I get ready for like an event, like a conference or something, and I think I want to wear something, I pick out my clothes, but I put them on and take a picture. Like in the mirror.
Yep.
And I look back and I be like, oh, no, that ain't
nope.
it. No, that color's not.
And that's good. A lot of people don't even take the time to do that. They just put it on.
Because, I've packed my outfits in my head before and put them in a bag and got there. I was like, I don't like what I have to wear.
Like yep.
And that's like the worst feeling, right?
Yeah.
You didn't pack something and you're like, this ain't. And now I got to put it on.
Not what I thought.
And now you're not going to feel confident wherever you're going.
Yep.
And people don't realize like half of feeling good is looking good.
Yep. And that's going to exude.
Exactly.
Like if you're like, I just feel humdrum. Like that's the vibe and energy that you're going to give off.
So what kind of budget should I set aside for working with a stylist, and how often should I work with one?
Great question. So there are different types of stylists, right? So there are personal stylists. There are people that also will just shop. They're not necessarily educating. I am a strategic wardrobe stylist. So a lot of my clients, like I'm educating them in the process of why. This is why I picked this for you.
Okay.
This is why that color works for you. This is why this neckline works. So I provide a lot of education because I don't necessarily, not that I love my clients, but I don't, you don't need to come back to me. Like, some people, that's how their work is based on consistently, styling their clients. And it makes sense if you are a celebrity or you just have, you don't have time. I don't want to have to pick out, outfits, but I work with my clients in a way where they have digital access to their wardrobe of what I've picked out. It can be about 20 to 50 outfits. They can see how I style it. So they don't, and then once they've learned like how I do it, they don't necessarily need me anymore.
Yeah.
And so
I love that.
I think that's how I work. Some stylists are totally different. They're like, I only work with my clients on retainer, because obviously you want to keep the recurring revenue coming, but I don't. Please learn and go style yourself. Like I want you to be confident when I'm not around. So if you always have to depend on me, then you're always going to be, running to me to style this, do this. Now, of course, if it's an event or like a special occasion or something like that, it's no problem. But typically I like to style my clients, educate them, and they may come back in like 6 months to a year where they're like, okay, now let's, work on my actual closet and let's revamp. Or I just had a baby. So everything we worked on last year is totally different now because
totally different body.
This is just not even the same body. So it's different, factors, but the investment for styling is really going to depend on that stylist. Some charge by the hour. Mine are more so in packages. So you're getting a lot of looks, you're getting a lot of education, you're getting your body type analysis. We're going out to stores. I'm actually remixing and mixing and matching pieces that you may already have with things that we need. So it's a lot. So I prefer to do like packages versus some stylists that do like hourly rates.
And when someone decides to work with you, are you doing it where they give you pictures and say, I want to look like this person?
Absolutely not.
No.
Because that's not you.
Okay,
gotcha.
Like,
and they can give inspiration. Like, I've had clients that are like, I really love Michelle Obama style, or I really love Tracy Ellis Ross. What I try to do is identify what about it did they love. So for Tracy Ellis Ross, it's like, I love that she wears color. I love the boldness. So let's extract that without me remaking an outfit that Tracy Ellis Ross, because again, that's not you. So it's like, how can we incorporate that for you?
1,000%.
Exactly.
I love it. Any like parting advice for someone who is like maybe a little bit of afraid to even here's the thing. I didn't know I needed a new wardrobe, right? My team was like, you don't represent the brand well enough. Oh. Literally, from most people, they were like,
how did that make you feel?
Oh, it hurt my feelings, but like I've heard it from multiple people, so I was like, okay, well, I need to change. You know what I mean? It's not about me anymore. I'm in service of everyone I work for, my customers and my team, and I want to represent everybody well. So I learned how to do my makeup, and I learned how to shop. I don't have that yet. It's okay.
Get there one day,
girl. You get there. I was traveling too much. And especially when you start doing like a speaking circuit and this and that, and it's like, okay, I do need to look a certain way. Yep. I still want to be comfortable to look a certain way. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll hire a stylist. And I'm just scrolling through Instagram, you know what I mean? And then like when they're coming in and they're telling you like what you need to do and stuff, it's a little uncomfortable. It's a little scary. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's your advice to get someone to take that leap? You know? Mm-hmm.
I think really doing a self-assessment first. So you luckily had people that, you know, were comfortable enough to come to you and say, hey,
girl, you ugly.
Not even that. It's what I like to call is that your style doesn't match your message. Mm. And so that's where like the kind of the self-assessment comes in. So I'm usually asking people, even like with my content and social, is, does your style reflect the woman that you see yourself as? And if it doesn't, that's how you know you need to change something. Like if you see yourself as this powerful woman speaking on stages and you're traveling, but you're always in loungewear, like how is that giving powerful? How is that giving like I'm a 7-figure boss? Like no, it gives I'm stay at home and in my loungewear and sip tea. Like it doesn't give the lifestyle that you want. So the first question is really, does your style match your message? And so it's always kind of like a self-assessment. And that's usually what I ask, or usually what people come to me like, I heard you say, and that's how I knew like, okay, it was time to at least have a conversation, because they may not be ready to invest yet, but it's knowing that they're at least open to having a conversation, and at least that something has triggered that, okay, it's not reflecting. Like I've had these same sweaters for, 15 years now.
That's such good advice. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming on the podcast. This was so good. And thank you guys. Where can people find you?
You can find me, Jasmene Bowdry, Jasmene Bowdry, on all social media platforms, or my website is jasminebowdry.com.
Check her out, you guys. Fixing my wardrobe changed my life. Okay, I cannot. It's not an understatement.
Like, I mean, it really will.
It really does.
People underestimate. I think that's what kind of sometimes pisses me off, is like people like, it doesn't matter. No, it absolutely does, especially for women of color. Like we are judged based on our appearance. Like data shows like 7 seconds within meeting someone, they've already analyzed you based on how you look, and whether it's right or wrong. Yeah, it's just how it is. So you always want to reflect in terms of your appearance, like how you want to show up.
And who doesn't want to be a baddie?
You know, why would you not?
Right? Who doesn't want to be a baddie? And that was
you can make money from it. Like your style is your lead magnet. Like why not? Like I've had clients, she's made $85,000 at an event just because of how she was dressed, because people were coming up to her and they were able to have that conversation. Yeah, it is. It's an attention getter. It's people do judge you within the first 15 seconds of meeting you, for sure. And your hair is 60% of that. Wow. Yes. Yeah, because it's 60% of your face. So people, they make a lot of assessments about you based on your hair. So yeah. Jasmine, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you. Thanks for having me. And thank you guys for listening. Thank you for listening to Fox After 40. Make sure to check out CurlMix.com if you're interested in our curly hair care products and mastering your wash and go. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And leave any questions you might have for Jasmine about style. Let us know what kind of revelations did you have in this podcast episode. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.